David was young, a shepherd boy from a small village. His days were spent with sheep, not soldiers. He knew the fields and quiet hills, but not war. He was slight, an unlikely hero. No one saw a savior in David. He seemed ordinary. Then there was Goliath, a giant, the Philistine champion. Everyone feared him. His armor was thick, his spear immense. He was a mountain of a man, his voice a roar. The army of Israel was afraid. They had King Saul, but Goliath made them tremble. Every morning Goliath shouted his challenge, mocking them. For 40 days no Israelite soldier stepped forward. Fear blanketed their camp. This was the setup, the small against the very large, the shepherd against the seasoned warrior, the boy with a sling against the giant with a spear. The odds seemed impossible. But sometimes the things that make someone an underdog are also their greatest strength. This is where the real story begins to unfold. The two armies faced each other in the valley of Elah. The Philistines on one hill, the Israelites on the opposite. Between them lay the valley floor, a stage for battle or surrender. The air was thick with tension. Goliath made his daily appearance, his voice booming. "Choose a man! Let him come down to me!" he yelled. For 40 days he taunted them. The Israelite soldiers were frozen by fear. Into this scene walked David, bringing supplies for his brothers. He was not part of the army. He heard Goliath's shouts and saw the terror in the soldiers' eyes. But David felt indignation. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine, he asked, that he should defy the armies of the living God? He spoke to King Saul, offering to fight the giant. Saul saw youth and inexperience, but David spoke of past battles. He had fought lions and bears to protect his flock. God had been with him then, and he believed God would be with him now. King Saul was hesitant, but David was persuasive. Saul offered David his royal armor, but it was too big and heavy. "I cannot go in these," David said. "I'm not used to them." He chose his own weapons, a shepherd's staff, 5 smooth stones and a sling. Goliath saw David approaching with contempt. "Am I a dog that you come to me with sticks?" he bellowed. He cursed David and promised to feed his flesh to the birds. Goliath was confident, seeing no threat. But David was not intimidated. "You come against me with sword and spear," David called out, "but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." David declared that the Lord would deliver Goliath into his hand. His faith was his armor, his words his battle cry. He ran quickly toward the battle line to meet the Philistine. The battle began swiftly. David reached into his bag, took out a stone and placed it in his sling. He swung the sling with all his might. The stone flew straight and true, striking Goliath on his forehead. The giant stumbled and fell face down on the ground. The Philistine army watched in disbelief. Their mighty warrior was defeated by a boy with a single stone. Panic erupted. They turned and fled. The Israelites, moments before, paralyzed by fear, now roared with courage. They chased after their enemies, the victory total. David's victory was more than just one battle won. It showed that what we see is not always the whole story. Giants often have weaknesses we do not perceive. Their size can make them slow, their confidence careless. Underdogs often possess hidden advantages. Their perceived weaknesses can force them to be creative and agile. The story of David and Goliath has echoed for thousands of years. It speaks to something deep within us. It is a story of courage and faith. Not just faith in a divine power, but also faith in oneself. Faith in unconventional methods. It inspires us to look beyond the obvious. It teaches us that the balance of power is not always what it seems. It is a timeless message of hope.